Hello guys, this video we're gonna explain the smart key cut, and after this we're gonna explain the model studio in another video. So if we import model like this and we open the smart key panel, we have the first method and it is basic cut. So if you choose the straight A to B, that's actually creating A point and B point and creating blade splitting between them. So if we go to start cut tool and do this, it's gonna create blade so we can cut through it. And you can press here to show the gizmo of this plane, so you can control and also the width of it and everything. Alright, and if you want to apply the cut, you're gonna press here. That's it. You have separated parts. If we show the wireframe, it is actually clean, as you can see. Alright, and if we go to custom curve, that's doing the same, but we have more control on the plate first, because the first option was creating a straight plane or plate, so you can't do a curve with it. So the custom curve, actually we are drawing. So if we press start cut, we select the model and press start, and we press or print like this, for example, something like this. Oh, I just printed and I pressed on another section, so the first one gone. If I print curve like this, all right. So as you can see, it created a plane, but with my curve. I just painted. All right, and also I have full control with gizmo, or if I don't want gizmo and I want control the left and right part, so I can choose from this, and that's from depth and behind, and I just gonna press execute, and it will cut as I want, as you can see, the same. And that's actually clean cut for the geometry. All right. So if we, let's say we're gonna use this because we're gonna explain the keys. So if we press like this, and we're gonna draw it from beginning like this, and we're gonna press execute, we have two separated parts. Okay, so in this section we have keys between parts. That's actually connectors, but in Audja called keys or joints. So we have two types. We have the keys and we have the magnet sockets. So if you have, if you want to make a magnet for a mask or whatever, you can use this. But we're gonna use keys for in this case. So we're gonna set the part A, this one, and we're gonna press here for this one. Or you can choose from here and set this, and here from this, and you can switch as you want. If you want, this one is A and this one is B, and I will tell you what is the difference. So part A always getting the pin of the key, and the part B always getting the socket. So that's gonna be more explained while I'm doing it. So I'm gonna just make this one is the A and this one is the B. All right, and I'm gonna press start keys tool. Okay, and I will press add key, and it will tell me to press on the surface or the section that I want to put the key on it. So I can't actually see what is inside, so I have to hide the part P. If I press here, it's gonna be like this. So I press here, as you can see, it created a connector or a pin. Okay, and if I press again, I can press here, and if I press again, I press here, and press again, I press here, as you can see. All right, and I can make a choose between any connector I want. I can move also anything, or scale them, or rotate them, or do anything. But here's the most important thing. So in key A, this one called the key A, key 1, if I want to make that's actually right now. So let me show you. If I press apply, all of them is gonna act like bin, as you can see, and the opposite section is sockets. So that's why I told you you have to make part A always bin, because we have chosen this part as bins always, and this part B always as socket. Okay, but if we have, or if we want to make some keys as socket and some keys is actually bins in the part A, so you can choose, for example, this key 1, and I'm gonna do a flip side. So it's gonna be a socket on this section, and the opposite, it's gonna be a bin. Okay, so if I do here, it's gonna, as you can see, bin transfer to B, and I'm gonna also choose something else. Let's say I'm gonna choose this. I'm gonna also do a flip. So these two gonna act like bins, this one and this one, and both of them gonna act like sockets, and the opposite in the other side. So if I press apply, as you can see, but we have to make like a good depth. So we can make like this, and we can go like this. All right, and if we press apply, as you can see, two sockets as we did flipped, and two bins. So if we hide this and see this one, and add only one key, I can change, let me scale it more bigger, like this. So I have actually a lot of keys I can use. I have con, cube, pyramid, octagon, star, dove, puzzle, pawn. The hardest one and the best one for me actually is the, where is it? The cross, yeah. This one, and the pawn, as you can see. So if I place it like here and press apply, that's actually so hard to, you know, get separated, or separate usually, if even the clearance not the lower. So as you can see here, we can close the wireframe. That's actually so perfect. So I want to show you the clearance. So if we go to cross section here and use the XSplit, yeah, if we zoom in more, we can do this. So yeah, as you can see, that's the clearance between the pin and socket part. And you can set the settings from here. Let me show you. You can set the settings of the keys from here if you want, like this, but the default one is actually 0.7, but I prefer 0.54. So if you press apply, and we do it again, that's actually more thin than before. We are zooming in like that's so hard, but in reality that won't be like this. It's gonna be like this. It's actually the same. Well, and you can decrease it as you want. And as I told you, in the keys section, you can make a set test, so you can know which part you want. But the default settings or the value of the clearance is actually good, so you won't need to change it too much. So if we have like multiple parts, so let's say we're gonna remove this, and we have two parts, doesn't have any keys, okay? And I'm gonna separate them again with this straight, so I'm gonna do like this. Oh, I have to select the mesh. I'm gonna do like this and this, as you can see, and I'm gonna press execute again. It's actually created the separated part. So if I have different parts or multiple parts and I want to use the keys, I can use like select this part and press Control select another part, and I want both of them act like pin. So if I do this, all right, and I press the socket for P and press start, all right. So so we have two separated parts here, okay, and we won't only use one part as a socket. So we're gonna press add key and press here and another one here, and both of them it's gonna act separated, and press apply. As you can see, everyone has on key and it get affected for the mesh, the same one. All right, and that's actually useful in separating by color if you have like two legs and you want to do it like once and don't want to duplicate the keys and all of this. We're gonna explain it more when we are going to separate by color. So that's the cut section. It's basic and good for keys and stuff like this. And the same keys here, it's actually here. You can control from here or here. So the other section is articulate. That's for flexi animals or keychain or any stuff you want to move or print in place. So I'm gonna import another model. So if we use this, oh, the mesh has some issues, but we can decimate this because that's actually too high for model like this. So we're gonna do is decimate. But before we do decimate, we can do we solve the issues here. So we're gonna see how fast is it. So if I press to repair, that's it. That's fixed all the issues. And if we do decimation like 200, that's actually good. That's gonna be more faster because it was 600. So if we go under this plate, that's actually so bad for our first layer because there is no first layer. That's actually so bad. So we have to make a first layer. So we're gonna apply the plate and we're gonna press G and we're gonna move it down. I think we gotta move it more like this, maybe more like this. So we're gonna remove all of this. So we have we will get a flat first layer. If we press apply, done. As you can see, it's actually a flat first layer. All right. So we in this section articulate. You can add the default key or the joint gonna be between parts, or you if you have a key you are using, you can just upload it. All right. But I have a default key in the Audja. So if you don't want to use your own, you can just press start and you're gonna press add joint and you can move the gizmo with it. And to see the key, you can just press here. You're just gonna see it, right? We want to rotate, so we're gonna press R like this and we move with the gizmo. If we see, oh, we have to hide the plate so we can see underneath. As you can see, I can duplicate this by holding Control and drag, and the key must be cutting these edges. So I'm gonna scale it more and squeeze it like this, maybe making it more upper like this, and I can duplicate it again, as you can see, and I can duplicate it again. And you have the keys here. If you want to move or rescale anyone, you can just do it. And I prefer to not increase more than 10 keys or joints, so the software doesn't get heavy and you want to see actually more better, so you have to apply and press again and add joint again. So it will be more smoother than you are adding too much joints here. So you are adding some and apply and adding some, you know, this is gonna be more better. Like this, and I'm gonna control drag again. Like this, we can scale it. And we can apply. So as you can see, we can remove this color. As you can see, that's the keys or joints between parts that's creating articulate stuff. So that's it. That's actually basic. Like you have full control on your keys, and at the same time, it is not fully automatic. So you won't get a bad result because you have control. So if you have a tiny part like this, it doesn't get the same skill as a huge part like this one. So we have to squeeze the key or rescale it smaller to make it fit like this. So that's it for the articulate section. We're gonna, in more upgrades, we're gonna add more style of keys or joints, because that's the basic one, and that's most people using. All right. So I'm gonna go back to import another mesh. For example, this again. If we go to the most important feature in the smart key, honestly, this is blade split. If we go to auto split, so first thing you have to do here is to go to your printer and choose what size of bit is your printer, center carbon, okay? So let's say if you want to make this statue in real life, like 1 meter or 100 centimeter, the same format or the same dimensions. You have a millimeter and centimeter and meter and inch and feet, all of this. So I'm gonna use centimeter, okay? And I'm gonna set, I want this in real life, 100 centimeter. As you can see, it is actually bigger than the plate. So the red parts detected the outside of the mesh that doesn't include inside the plate of your printer, okay? So after I press and set all of this, I'm just gonna add keys, and I'm gonna decide in how many cuts I want the keys to be. All right. So if you see or stand or any word like this, you're gonna see the actual plate that will get cut. You can move it. You can do whatever you want. All right. So, but I prefer to make it reset like the default one or the automatic one, because we have a manual one. We can use it. We can explain it after this. So I don't want to make it complicated, because it is actually so easy. So after you set the size of your model in real life, and you can show the plates or you can hide it from here. And you must add joints. That's actually the connectors or the keys between the parts or split parts. So in every part, the default is 2. So I prefer to make it like 5, depending on how many keys you want. You have like 20, but that's actually too much. So maybe 5, that's gonna be good. All right, and you have the shape you want, and the same shapes here is the same shapes in Smart Key, the first panel. We have bone, puzzle, and pyramid, all of this. I'm gonna use this. And I have control on the size of the pen if I want to make it like less than the real size of it, 70%, and the depth I want to make it like let's say 3.5. So this section is actually important, because if you have small parts that are getting cut in your mesh and you have set your keys to 5 as a count, and the small parts actually won't fit all your keys inside. And if you have like make the joint more bigger or stuff like this, it won't fit inside the small parts. So you are choosing the limit edge to put your keys in the small parts. So if the small part doesn't have 8 mm, it will ignore, and it will not put a key in it. So it won't destroy the small part with a huge key. So that's a good thing. So for default, I guess we can make it like 5. That's gonna be good, I guess. Yeah. And the clearance of the keys, that's actually the basic one in the keys. You set like if you want it tight and you want it more loose or stuff like this. But the default 0.15 is good. And this one, creating label numbers on your separated pieces, so you know which part belongs to which. And you can disable it or enable it as you want, but it is enabled by default. And you can control the size of the numbers if you want it big or small, and you can control the depths inside your separated mesh also. So maybe we're just gonna make it default as it is, and we're gonna just press split. So as you can see, it separated all the parts. It took actually like maybe 10 to 15 seconds to separate all of this. And when you press split, it's actually separating the parts and putting them on their plates. So you won't worry about placing them inside Orca or Bumbo or any slicer you won't worry about it, because the same, as I told you in the first video, the same plates is the same plates in every slicer. Okay. So that's it for auto split. That's actually so easy to do, and you have almost full control. As you can see, the numbers and the organized keys. And we said, don't forget, we set the keys on 5. So if you see here, this is 5. But I want to show you like small parts doesn't have 5 actually, because the space of the section is too small to get. Let me see. But the key is actually so small, so yeah, it's getting oh yeah, here. As you can see, this part couldn't take all the 5, so he took like 2 and 1 here, and maybe let me hide this plate. So let me hide this plate to see. Yeah, and 3 below it. So yeah, and if we want to see the full statue that we actually separated as we do, so we're gonna press here, and we can see the parts getting combined together as nothing happens. So if you don't have like numbers, label numbers, you can know which part belong to which part. And you can control also from here if you don't want to take too much time to see what is happening. And it's taking like first plate, second plate, as you can see, first one, second one, third, fourth, fifth, as you can see. So the tiny parts is actually good in this situation. So as you can see, the tiny parts getting a different color, more glow and more appeared, so you can see it easily. So in small parts like this, you have to open the smart key in plate section. Okay, so you press on this. In this part, for example, I want to merge this part and this part. So I press on this part and I press Control, and this part also, and I press space on my keyboard, or I can press here, as you can see. So I have another part. I'm gonna press here and Control and this here and space, as you can see. And this one, space again. And there is a tiny part here. This one, space again. So there is no tiny parts no more. Okay. And we can put them on plates again. So we can press here. All of them gonna go to plates. All right. And if you think that's too much plates and you want more organized, so you can go to build the plates here, and then auto arrange here. You're gonna enable split part order, and you're gonna set like spacing to 10, for example, and press arrange. That's actually made like less plates and more arranged stuff. As you can see, maybe this part is so weird. So we can select all of them and make a good orientation, shift and G, and we're gonna go to plates again and press auto arrange. So the flat layer is actually good. There is no weird stuff or position. And actually, if you want to skip this part and do this in Orca, you can go ahead. But it's like you won't need it because that's actually here. So as you can see, that's so organized. Like here, here, here. The keys is actually in good place. You have like full control actually. So let's say you finished your work here and you want to make the same plates and everything in your slicer. So I'm gonna open this one, for example, maybe in a cubic, and I'm gonna open. As you can see, it's asking me if I want the printer that I choose. I'm gonna confirm. And the same plates, the same names, everything. So if you check, let's say Audja for now, you see this part, it's actually the same. You see this, it's actually the same. See this, actually the same. And the same counting, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the same. And there's one more thing I forgot to tell you. So if you go here, and for example, this part, you can see it has the label numbers as we set in Audja, and we don't like the position of the number. We can select the number from here, as you can see, and I can press the gizmo and I just move it as I want. Because in Audja, we don't create the labels numbers subtracted in the original mesh. So I can basically just press delete and that's it. That's more useful than creating the labels subtracted on the mesh. That's actually more useful to be full control on the labels also. As you can see, I can move as I want. I can set the place, and as you can see here, every plate, like for this, for example, it has the original mesh, this one, as you can see, and the numbers inside it. So if we move here, we have here, and we have here, the same count, you're gonna see it. All right. But actually, that's useful if you don't want to put label text on some parts. So you can just remove it from here. All right. And so, yeah, that's actually the, that's actually the blade split in auto mode. So if we delete all of this, and we're gonna, let me rescale this one to make it like 20 centi. Yeah. All right. So let's say we're gonna use another method, but is actually more manual and more controlling on the blades. So if we go to blade grid here, and I press show cut lines, as you can see, it make the blades more visible on the mesh, so I can control which part I want, how many blades I want in the Y dimension more than one plate, as you can see. So it is actually the same. So if we go to set like 2, and maybe we can make it like 3, and here we can move it, this one like this. So if you see here, we have dimensions of every part that will get separated. So you have full control if you want this part like more or less, as you can see. Right and left is it changing in measures. Okay. So I'm gonna make like the default one. Maybe we can add 2 plates like this, and the same settings in auto split while we are adding keys is the same here. maybe 5 keys. Maybe we can make it like 3, and we can reduce the size more, like maybe this, and also the depth. And we can choose another style of connectors. We can make something more complicated, maybe bonds, and we can increase this. And maybe we don't want the label numbers, so we gonna disable it and separate. It take actually like 3 to 5 seconds, because the model size is not big, because we set the model as 20 centimeter. So as you can see, the connectors have a different, let me enable wireframe. It has different style of connectors. So you can also see the full model while you're pressing here. The parts will get connected. As you can see, the same parts, everything. And if you want to check the clearance, we can go to cross section. We're gonna set the plate to X. And as you can see, that's the default for clearance between the pin and the socket of the connector, as you can see. So I'm gonna disable this, and I'm gonna separate them on plates again. Maybe we can make more arrange, because this part we can add here. So we're gonna press here. All of them sit in one plate. That's actually good, because it's not that big, like 20 centimeter. So that's it for plate grid and plate split sections. It's easy and anyone can use it anytime, and it has a great result, to be honest. And also you have full control and better visuals. So if we go to preview here, and we can move the slide like this. And if I want to merge, as I told you, if there's tiny parts you want to merge, you can press on the tiny parts, and the original part you want to merge, and press space, or you can press here. So also it work on big parts. So let's say I want to merge this one with the orange one. So I'm gonna press here and control and press here, and you see it targeted to selected meshes, and I'm gonna press space. This is one part, as you can see. So you have like full control on every part you want to merge or separate or anything. So yeah, that's it for this video, and second video we're gonna explain or make a tutorial for Mold Studio. It's actually important tool, and that's it. See you next video.